Welcome back to my channel. This is Krista, and today I'm sharing with you a work day with my dad. It's actually 2 work days with my dad as we are finally starting on the high tunnel project this year for 2023. So this is my neighbor's house and we're borrowing his tractor, and we're just putting on a heavier box scrape at this point because the one he had on it is too light for the work that we need to do. This is I believe it's a 50s model Ford tractor, red belly Ford tractor. This belonged to his dad, which is the older brother of my dad, and you see my dad here in blue. And my neighbor is, obviously my cousin as well, my first cousin. So we have spent the last 2 years having dirt brought in and grading our land and finding old railroad ties and really trying to scrounge as much materials as possible, and to do this economically to get a somewhat level pad for this high tunnel frame that I purchased. It is a used high tunnel frame that was erected and we took it down. And then last year, through the warp speed craziness, the weeds took over, and so now we have to clear the pad and work around the winter mud farming season to try and get it up. And so what you're seeing is that process. And I had to stand on the back side where it's like I think it's 2.5 feet where we had to build it up, so that when he came to scrape with the tractor, he couldn't see the edge, and we didn't want him to, go off the back end. So I was standing on the back end so that he could identify where the edge was, and we scrape all the weeds and get that cleared. So here's our pile we pulled out, and I gotta clean those landscape or garden fabrics up and roll them up. We lost a couple blueberry plants because my dad ran over them with the tractor. But our greenhouse pad is cleared off again from all the weeds and stuff. And we have one side of boards down and one bow up. It's hard to see, but the start of the high tunnel is up, and pretty excited about it. And then started building, and we would take turns. I actually ended up pulling a muscle really bad while using the sledgehammer and stuff, but we would take turns, and then I would film a little bit, and my son and I would dig up the big clumps of grass with the shovel so that the tractor could pull out. So what you're seeing is just little bits of this process as I would film while someone else was doing it, and then I would go back to doing it. But what the goal is to build out the garden beds once the frame is up, and then save up the money so to hopefully this fall we can afford to cover it with the plastic, put the end walls on, and extend our growing season. Finally, progress on the high tunnel that I bought. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? 2020 or 2021? I think it was early 2021. Yes, it was like late fall 2020 we came across it, and we took it down January of 2021 or something like that. Anyway, we have finally gotten some of it up after all the work of flattening the land and getting railroad ties and scrounging and having dirt brought in. It has been a long process, but we have finally, this side board's starting to be up. That whole side is down and ready. Everything is square. And we have 4 of our bows in place. And I am so excited to finally see this thing going up. So, super job today, Mr. Ridge. You can't even see the bows. We are officially, let's see, this is the 100-foot mark. So this is how big it'll be, it's 100 feet. And those bows are way down there.